Welcome to the 7th edition of the Caltex Video Magazine, your window into the Caltex world. This episode is special, dedicated to revealing the myriad of developments in launching our new corporate and retail identities.
Caltex officially unveiled its new retail and corporate identities this fall. In Dallas, David Law Smith spoke of the process of change.
We are going from here to there, and that's our future. Our future has been developed over many, many years through many, many different changes that have taken place. We have to be different going forward. Just learn by our experiences, but don't live in the past for too long.
Following Dallas, Caltex launched the new identity on September 23rd in Singapore and on September 26th in the Philippines. The events were well attended, attracting more than 30 members of the international media. Caltex officials toured new stations in operation following the press conference in Singapore. In 60 years' time, Caltex has become the most successful joint venture in history. With the launches of the new identity, we are well on the road to building a strong foundation to become the brand of choice and the preeminent service provider wherever the new Caltex star is seen.
Ours is a business built on trust and consistency. Caltex vision and values must be reflected not only in its appearance, but in the level of service offered to the customer. In this next report, we look at how Caltex plans to deliver on its promise of quality products and service with its new image.
As Caltex enters a new and exciting era, service and value are our building blocks for tomorrow. David Law Smith spoke recently on the importance of service to our customers.
Service, and this is the concrete foundation of Caltex's future, certainly as long as I'm here. We will, I hope, be known as the preeminent service provider in the areas in which we operate. I'd like you to think about that. We're not going to win because people think our gasoline is better than Shell's. You're just not going to win that one. It may give us a temporary lift, as Techron's done in Malaysia and a few other places, where you get an additive. We will win purely through service.
A new service level for attendants is part of the entire retail marketing approach. The service attendants are the front line, our interface with the consumer. A new level of service being applied to all Caltex retail sites will definitely be a standout in the marketplace.
It's extremely important that over time that we do create this niche in people's minds that when they see the new trademark, it stands for superior service, that they're going to get good value when they go onto a Caltex site and they will get in and out very quickly, and that's what it's all about.
Our service attendants must deliver on Caltex brand assurance for us to succeed. Satisfied customers mean return business, and that will be the determining factor.
The service level of attendants has to be soup to nuts, from the way they're dressed to the way they run out to greet you and as you drive into the forecourt, to the way they help you into traffic, if necessary, as you exit from the service station. It's got to be the full package that leaves you saying, yes, I like that, I'll come back here.
Service that is second to none. Fast, knowledgeable, and friendly. That is what will differentiate Caltex from all others in the market. We sell a commodity which in itself is not unique. The new standard for service is unique and will ultimately play a pivotal role in assuring Caltex is the brand of choice in all of our operating areas.
Through extensive research, we know that consumers want consistency and value for their money above all else. As we see in this next report, Caltex is on the road to presenting a new level of standardization in package design and retail appearance.
The new Caltex image is not merely a logo design. The image launch coincides with newly designed packaging of Caltex products. It's all part of a dramatic retail marketing effort unprecedented in the 60-year history of Caltex. The desire for consistency in the marketplace demands that consumers anywhere and in any language be able to recognize and identify with the Caltex brand. This has been a major hurdle because the look has been fragmented with different packaging and labels in nearly every country. After a 6-year design development process, Caltex is now implementing standardized packaging. All design decisions were based on the wants and needs of the buying public.
It included market research to make sure that the customer was driving this process, that their opinions, their wants, their desires, and their thought process was what it went into the design of this. It included the production facilities and making sure that everything that was done would match that. So all the packages have a common footprint, a common height, a common filling point as much as possible, so that you don't have to change those permutations.
The idea of the packaging program was to make sure that everything we did, including the packaging, reinforced our brand position statement, which the objective of which is to make Caltex the brand of choice among our target retail market segments. And to do this, we have to fulfill a promise that we're making to them that everything we do is going to denote quality and professionalism.
Consistent packaging is just a piece of the retail puzzle. An impressive, clean, and modern design is being implemented in our service stations and C-stores. The new look and high standards of service to our customer are all part of an astounding retail marketing push. The retail marketing effort is going forward full steam. So now Caltex enters the final phase of an extensive 3-phase process. This is implementation. The design and materials are in place, and the first 6 countries are beginning to present the new Caltex image to the public. A tremendous surge of implementation activity is expected in 50 to 60% of the company in the coming months. OpCos in New Zealand, the Philippines, Hong Kong, Singapore, Malaysia, and Thailand have been hard at work preparing to launch the new identity. Another advantage to standardized packaging and retail appearance is the ability to share costs for high-quality television commercials. As each country reaches a point of critical mass in terms of new stations and star marts, they will use the new ads to present Caltex to consumers. Because the look will be consistent everywhere, each operating company will be able to use the same ads tailored to their region in language and local flavor. This is a bold undertaking for Caltex and its operating companies. We are looking ahead in our packaging and retail marketing efforts to ensure Caltex is the brand of choice in our operating areas for the next century. To succeed, the efforts must be internal as well as external. With consistent high-quality packaging, unparalleled service, and the determination to be the brand of choice, Caltex is providing a unified portrait of value in the marketplace.
Recently, some changes in senior management were announced. Caltex Senior Vice President Guy Camarata was elected a director of Caltex Petroleum Corporation and a member of the Executive Committee. In addition, Caltex is dividing operating activities into 2 geographic regions as we strive to achieve maximum flexibility in organizational structure. As a result, 2 key corporate and operating executives will be moving to Singapore. Richard Fernie will remain the Regional Vice President and Shareholder Representative for the operating companies in South Asia, the Middle East, and Africa. Jock McKenzie will assume Regional Vice President and Shareholder Representative responsibilities for the operating companies in Southeast Asia and New Zealand, including marketing in Singapore, Vietnam, and Cambodia. Also, William Tiffany has been appointed to the position of Vice President of Strategic and Business Planning of Caltex Petroleum Corporation. We would like to wish all of those with new assignments best of luck in their new and challenging roles. The launch of the new corporate and retail identities for Caltex is visible to our external customers. More important still are the changes within. 2 videos recently released outline the process of internal alignment for the company. The process is in place to make Caltex, its shareholders, board of directors, and operating companies a seamless, cohesive unit. Please look for the videos at your location for complete insight into the internal alignment process. In October, Caltex sponsored a workshop on the implementation of the environment, health, and safety principles. Personnel representing EHS, as well as other management functions from Caltex subsidiaries and joint ventures throughout Caltex areas of operation attended. The workshop was designed to allow the participants to identify the value of an effective EHS program to an operating company and also to recognize the obstacles which prohibit the implementation of their programs. More importantly, it was designed to focus on specific actions that can be taken to more effectively implement EHS principles into the operating company. Chairman David Law Smith spoke extensively at the beginning and end of the three-day session, stressing the importance of EHS in corporate strategy, and also participated in an open discussion with the participants. In all areas of operation, concern about environmental and safety issues from governments and consumers is at an all-time high. Addressing these concerns while remaining focused on Caltex brand assurance are huge challenges for EHS personnel.
Be bold, be ambitious, be forthright in your views, never be intimidating. And when you've gone through this workshop and you've established your views and you've really prepared yourself to go back to your countries, just remember that you're going to be part of the management of that organization, not just an EHS specialist.
News of innovation and individual spirit within Caltex is coming soon to every employee in an exciting new format. The Edge is a new publication highlighting Caltex employees achieving greatness in their work. The magazine will be a top-notch, full-color glossy presentation published quarterly. As editor, Jim Batts of Corporate Communications explains, the ambitious project will be much more than a simple newsletter.
We felt like that there were stories that could be told, should be told, that have typically not been dealt with before. And we needed a better platform to move into something like that, and a slick magazine, four-color, demanding standards on how it's developed and how it's presented, would match the level of commitment that Caltex is making to excellence in other areas.
Issue number 1 will contain Caltex news and information of a global scope and will also feature a 10-page pull-out section that is a quick and helpful reference tool for using the new Caltex corporate identity system. Look for The Edge soon at your location. Caltex celebrated its 60th anniversary in grand style at a dinner at the Westin Galleria Hotel in Dallas. This celebration was coupled with the annual quarter-century banquet. Caltex employees and retirees gathered at a dinner hosted by Chairman David Law Smith. In a brief remark, Mr. Law Smith thanked the retirees for getting the company to where it is today. He also encouraged all to be proud of the achievements and work hard to meet challenges and strengthen the company further. In today's world, the amount of information available through the internet and other sources is phenomenal. Complementing the efforts to standardize and solidify Caltex brand recognition worldwide is the alignment of information sharing standards.
We've spoken quite a lot to our shareholders about this, and in fact, both Chevron and Texaco now have a senior level position, vice president level position to do this alignment. And that is to make sure that our investment in technology, information technology, is put in the right places.
We're looking at different areas that we want to have a commonality in. Some of the areas we've selected for next year are retail marketing, financial systems, lube systems areas. So we're attempting to get to common applications and common infrastructure.
Caltex has a new identity to the external customer. Now we look at how that new identity is being reflected internally through the Caltex identity system.
Consistent image and performance quality are important not only in the retail look, but in all of Caltex's business operations. A new identity system with specific guidelines for use of the new look has been developed for everyone in Caltex. The system is designed so that our use of the new logo and identity remain consistent internally as well as externally.
Our customers in our targeted areas prefer service that is fast, efficient, and professional. And the new look on the retail level reflects this. We took that retail look and transferred that to a more corporate expression, so that everything from business cards to the letterhead that you use to faxes has the same kind of uniform look that says this is Caltex and this is the kind of company that we are.
The corporate identity system is available now for implementation within all OpCos as they see fit. Everything that is visual about Caltex, from signage and uniforms to letterheads and faxes, is detailed in the new ID system.
Our new identity is not just a change of symbol, as the advertising will say. It's a symbol of change. And to really be that symbol of change, the content has to be there. That means that people have to change in terms of the level of service, the quality of customer focus that they bring to all their work. When that happens, the symbol itself will have more content. And then Caltex will really benefit.
The recent changes in Caltex began with studies by Project Alpha in 1992. Before that, the Caltex brand has had a rich and varied history dating back to the 1930s. In this next report, we look at the history of Caltex and hear from one of our proud pioneers.
Caltex has its roots in the entrepreneurial spirit, which forged so many industries in the first quarter of this century.
Caltex started in the 1930s when Chevron Corporation and Texaco Incorporated, their antecedents, one in the case of Standard Oil of California, found oil in the Arabian Gulf area and later in Indonesia. But they didn't have sufficient outlets for that crude oil and needed a place to refine it. Texaco, on the other hand, was looking for sources of crude oil for its very extensive network of retail facilities in the Eastern Hemisphere. So this was a natural commercial marriage between the two partners.
This merging for the common good was quite successful. These times must have been exciting and very pioneer-like for the first employees of Caltex. 91-year-old Ray Keeney started with the company in 1947 after serving the U.S. military on the Joint Chiefs of Staff of the Army-Navy Petroleum Board. He was part of a key period for Caltex, the initial contracts with the U.S. government that would eventually mean billions of gallons of product moved by Caltex. Keeney remembers well the spirit of the company in these years.
Oh, it was wonderful. It was unbelievable, the attitude of the people. That's what made Caltex right from the very first. The cooperation and the interest and the dedication. It's something you would very, very seldom get in any company. And I'd say that prevails today. There was no bickering, no one ever trying to push ahead of someone else. They worked as a team. And we had leadership right from the first.
In the 1980s, Caltex began strengthening its relationships with other companies. Brand image began to suffer toward the end of the decade, and it became clear that more emphasis needed to be placed on the retail market. In 1991, Caltex began looking at retail performance and brand recognition issues needed to bring us into the future.
Well, I think that it's what's happening in the world. Everything wants to have a spirit of flow. And I think if anybody should have an image of flow, it should be an oil company. Because that's what we do. Our product is always flowing. And I think that the latest logo depicts the up-to-date action of Caltex flow.
We are now seeing this effort come to fruition with the recent launches of the new retail and corporate identity, changes which will propel Caltex as a unified force into the 21st century.
That's our look at the dramatic developments in the Caltex world. We congratulate each and every employee for your contributions and enthusiasm for the new image of Caltex. Thanks for joining us for this edition of Caltex Video Magazine.